Yeah. Test of patience. Letting go. Good morning, good afternoon, hello. I'm starting this recording for the fourth time. The first two times were after just a few seconds because for some reason, I can't even remember now why, I just spoke for surely 20 minutes, received a phone call, and InShot decides to just recording failed and deleted everything. Yeah, lovely. So now I am going to make this short, but here I am thinking that I am in control. Or am I thinking that? I enjoyed my journey immensely. Aho, I have spoken. Magnetic white wizard. What are we attracting? What am I attracting? What is my purpose? What is the purpose? How many purposes can I think of? Oh, let it go. Clearly letting go. Things that happen on magnetic days. Some say, set your intentions on magnetic days. Some say they are not days to set intentions. Just observe. A very, very dear friend of mine used to say to me a long, long while ago, he said, intention comes before thought. And true that was. And he, funnily, it's interesting, I remember that on a wizardry note, taught me how to bring up energy into his body, or like intend. He asked me to intend for some certain kind of energy. I can hardly remember because I was very new to the classes and I was like not really sure what was going on, but to intend it, that he would feel it, this an entity or this something, not an entity, forget it, like a like a I don't even know, something he wanted to feel, and I should intend it into him. I should intend it, and when I thought it, it wouldn't happen, and when I intended it, it happened. And he taught me. He was like a biofeedback. I was so young then, I didn't really, but he taught me, or tried to teach me, the difference between intending and thinking. Anyway, what is the intention? The intention is the intention is the purpose, or the intention sets the purpose, or the purpose sets the intention. We can't bypass our intentions. Intentions are powerful. The wizard stands for receptivity, timelessness, enchantment. It's very different to the ego, wanting, thinking. Somewhere, some people, some theories say the minute we say I want to, we're already an ego. I am not confirming or negating that one. I find it an interesting concept. The enchantment of life, to be flowing with life, and allow ourselves to be enchanted. We can, of course, be a stick in the flow and say, oh no, I need to be angry about something, or I don't want to flow. We have free will. Very often we don't realize how we're exercising our free will, and anger just happens to us, or outrage, or whatever. We don't often necessarily think ourselves the active cause or responsible for. I just catch myself thinking and talking. Am I thinking and talking, or am I just now judging myself? I'm not sure. I notice there's still a shadow of disappointment that my recording from just now got deleted. At the same time, is the wizard teaching me receptivity? Because what am I doing here? I'm not channeling, but I'm talking whatever comes through, whatever. I don't think about it, and I prefer not to be in a very mental space, analysis mode. Receptivity. So I understand fully. I mean, I don't prepare these podcasts. I can keep them going all day long. Something will always come. I'm receptive. I'm in receptive mode, as Abraham calls it. Yep, I'm in receptive mode, and something will come. And I feel like how would I describe that? Interesting. If I wasn't using the Tzolk'in, I would have no direction as to what to talk about. Something would still come out. Absolutely. Perhaps I would go deeper into channeling and leave more of myself outside of the space. Because of the Tzolk'in, part of my mind is present and is referencing the Tzolk'in, since I'm here with it. The antipode to the wizard is the yellow seed. They're not complete without each other. Focus, flowering, targeting, blossoming, potentials. The seed is an interesting concept because the seed cannot become anything at all, but it also isn't what it's going to become yet. Similar to the butterfly and caterpillar analogy, the blue night, which is one seal before the yellow seed, is still the field of infinite potential, dream time. The seed is already focused potential. It's already just needs the right environment and the right nurturing, and there you go. But some seeds are dormant, so right environment, right nurture doesn't necessarily make them sprout. And that little bit of uncertainty, I wonder if plants or seeds are like anxious. Is it going to be me? Is it going to be me? I doubt it. Something tells me no. But we, humans, anxiety. What a thing. That's a really, really interesting thing amongst many interesting things we humans are capable of. Or just being anxious or excited, like, is this going to work? Is my potential, But if If there's uncertainty, do I have to be anxious? If I'm in receptive mode, I spoke about this yesterday, like who we believe, where we've come from collectively, historically, evolution of humans, but the same is true for us as individuals. Who am I? If I believe myself to be a being, a representation, a manifestation of the dream field, of infinite potentials made, I mean, I am one with I am all humans, so all human potential that can ever be, has ever been, it all is. Past, present, future, all is now, doesn't matter. The past is potential that has fulfilled itself, the future is potential that is yet to be, other dimensions, parallel universes, whatever. There's a thought of school that says potential, all parallel, all past is just parallel nows. And we are moving through these parallel nows in a kind of we would call it linear fashion. Fascinating. Timelessness. It's wonderful to contemplate time on the magician's day, on the wizard's day. I love contemplating time any day. And in our bodies, the serpent is the best analog partner, best friend, analog partner of the wizard. The most like itself energy or archetype. The most like itself. Timelessness, receptivity, enchanting, and life force, instinct, and vitality. Hello? I mean, to experience having a body, being human, that's pure magic. Many of us don't think so because we've got so dragged down into the very low frequencies that human beings are capable of. Oh, that's why it's so important to to quote the Bible, be like little children, and there's a Bible quote. Quran says you gotta heal, you gotta take care of that inner child. It's a really important aspect for longevity and for vitality. The blue monkey. It's really, 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 really vital to our well-being that the inner child is well, that we are integrated. I don't want to talk about the inner child today. I want to talk about enchantment, but the inner child is called the trickster. The blue monkey. It is linked to magic too, playfulness. The magician and the monkey are not directly like via kins. You have to jump through a few kins to land at the monkey, from the monkey to the wizard, but they're very linked. And when we play as adults or as children, we always use children when children play, yeah, they forget about time. Time is of no essence at all. When they wake up, they don't think, oh, another day. They don't ask themselves, have I slept enough? They just wake up and like, what's next? Off they go. Play. Everything is fun, except, when we adults come in and say, oh, you have to do this, tidy up your room, go to school, do this, do that. And before you know it, what happens to us when we grow up? What happens to so many of us? And then comes another very exciting period when we come of age and discover a whole new world of our reproductivity, should I call it that? And then, yeah, we play with that for a while, and then that gets old, and then, how can we keep being enchanted? Keep being enchanted by life every day, every moment, every breath, everything is a miracle. Everything is a miracle. Time is a miracle. Timelessness is a miracle. Life is a miracle. Death is a miracle. The body is a miracle. Our bodies take so much abuse. It's unbelievable. I find it unbelievable how much shit we can put into them, how badly we can treat them. And they try. They do everything to keep us going. I mean, really, so many times I'm like, oh my God, how is this person still alive with all what they're doing? How is this body still managing to keep going? And it's amazing. We are, according to some thoughts, we are fragile species. We can only exist in a sliver of temperature, climate, blah, blah. We are like fragile. From a different perspective, we're totally not. Oh gosh, we are resilient. We are resilient. I will not liken us to cockroaches. They are far more resilient than us. But we are not vermin either. We are a wonderful species, capable of everything. It's very difficult to be human in this society and not have in any way, shape or form moralistic glasses on my vision. And I'm personally quite capable to take those glasses off, but when I then start talking, people get shocked. Everything is here as it belongs to be here. So who are we as beings, as bodies? If everything or if a lot is a drag, life becomes difficult. Life force becomes compromised. Time becomes threatening. The passage of time becomes maybe a cross to bear, or it's the wrong expression, but something to worry about. We don't have enough time to unfold our seed potentials. There's not enough time to do all the things we want to do. The occult power to the wizard is blue hand. If we understand we're eternal beings, there's time for everything. This life, another life, this dimension, another dimension, this body, another body right now. There was a time I kind of fancied becoming an opera singer. I did study it too, but it didn't have enough to make it. And at some point I realized, aside from the fact that, I realized, you know what, there are people on this planet who are very, 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 very excellent opera singers. And I feel a kind of sort of soul link with them. And it's like, oh yeah, part of my soul lives on this planet as them and sings, and I'm totally content with that. It's fine. I'm doing it in them. It's fine. Oh, there's so many things that I'd like to do in this lifetime. I cannot do it all in this body. I need several bodies if I want to do them in this time. And this is a great time to be alive, and this is a very, very, so many opportunities. I don't know, have humans generally, have we had this many opportunities? Just by now, almost every human on this planet is carrying a phone, and a smartphone, which means we're living in a time where more or less the world has access to the world. this is not so true for China and those places where there's a lot of censorship, but be that as it may, generally speaking, you get my drift. And the opportunities that come with that. You have almost all the knowledge that is a collective human knowledge in your hand. You can ask this gadget anything, and it will pipe up an answer. And you can study with that. It's a university, it's a library, it's everything. It's incredible. Are we evolved? It will evolve us. Are we evolved enough to handle that amount of choice? I think many bodies are positively overwhelmed, but doesn't mean we're growing, we're learning, we're evolving, what works, what doesn't. But our potentials there's a lot of fertile ground, and maybe there always has been, appropriate to the time, timelessness, enchant, receptivity. I keep coming back. For me, perhaps that's part of one of my things. Yellow sun stands for it. I mean, it's your identity. In astrology, your sun sign is your conscious identity, right? And in the Tzolk'in, the seal most associated with identity crisis is the yellow sun. It's part of the shadow of the yellow sun. It's not really knowing who I am. And for me, there's a lot of who do I identify with? My body, my mind, my emotions, a collective of all, some voice in my head, spirit, what exactly is that? Dun, 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 dun. And then the wizard is like, hey, you're all and none of them. Chill. Become receptive. Be the vessel for the broadcast that synthesizes as Tatiana, that is both receiving and broadcasting at the same time. And we all share the same source of the broadcast, but we don't share the same body, although sometimes we do. But I'm staying a bit 3D. 3D plus. I'm doing 3D plus. The White Wizard is really a bit of a antidote to. It's very interesting that his occult, it's occult archetype medicine is the blue hand, knowing, healing, doing, knowing what to do when, be receptive until the impulse comes to act. In the Western world, or in the world where we are very focused on doing, if you want to achieve anything, you got to do it. You have to do it. It's a lot of, you gotta to be receptive mode is, if Abraham Hicks always underline it, you gotta be in receptive mode. Reality creation is much simpler. And what she says, they say you have the leverage that creates worlds. What is the guy? I know the concepts. Like, you can do through your action. You're so limited if you're going to do it through action. Like willing things, like if you want to build your body or something, you need so many hours of exercise before your muscle reaches point X. Whereas if you use the law of attraction and writing those frequencies, you do it much faster. Because we have the power that creates worlds in our hands. But how does it work? How do we do it? receptive mode. To balance between knowing when to be receptive and when, but you act out of receptive mode. What does it mean, receptivity? You receive. Your best friend is the snake. Your best friend is instinct. That's why we need healing. Healing is one of those words. I want to say something about updating our instincts. That falls in some way in the category of healing, possibly, like for example our nervous system. Right now our nervous systems, some of us seem to experience like this upgrade in our nervous system. Or there's so many ways I can talk about this. I had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day, feeling like the body is just like receiving, I don't know what, however the nervous system feels. I don't want to give any interpretation about the symptoms we can experience, but instinct, it needs to be upgraded. We live in a very, very different time. Some of our instincts, we've needed them for, if we're going further back in our life on this planet, our DNA, I don't know who we share it with. I don't know if we can go further back than our humanity, our other ancestors, but even if we're just staying within humanity, hundreds of thousands of years, how long have we needed our survival instincts? But what exactly is the instinct versus intuition? Instinct and intuition are very closely related. But you can have instincts in today's modern world, where our instinct warns us, but it's not accurate because it misinterprets danger. And I'm not exactly sure if that's the really old code of instinct, or if that is actually a malprogramming inserted in childhood, when the instinct was fight, flight, fawn, or what is the other one? Die mode. What is that? Pretend you're dead mode. One of the four main survival instincts to preserve our lives. Whatever we often in childhood we learn to install instinctual codes of behavior that may ascertain our survival in childhood, because we can't very easily not have them. I'm not going there now. But as adults, there's a dead wrong behavior. Pulling back and retreating into ourselves, or abandoning ourselves for the sake of peace, so that we may, survive as adults, or becoming as a child. Aggression is, sometimes it works, but it didn't work in my life. But as an adult, especially in relationships, we often have the problem that we're running instinctual behavior that is counterproductive to what we actually want, and it's not grown up, it's not mature, let's put it that way. Our thought patterns are very often immature. So where's this relating to instinct, time, and receptivity? It relates to the blue hand, knowing. And if we learn things in childhood, we often stuff becomes automated. And instincts, well, maybe they don't get upgraded like every year. They undergo very, very long developmental processes, and they've stood the test of time, like intuition. Without your intuition working, life is really difficult. There are too many moving parts. Yesterday I spoke about the maybe shadow aspect of the yellow human if we're trying to influence too much, or in a way not, running for burnout, or life is just tough and like intuition and instinct tell you exactly, makes life really easy. Receptivity, being in touch with the inner being, being in touch with living from that place of inner being. It's certainly, but it's the body. In the Western world, I find we very often also we're very neglectful of the body. We don't understand it very well, and when we do think we understand it, we actually we mess it up even more, because now we're coming from mind. You ought to eat this, you ought to do that. Everything becomes some kind of rule. Somebody discovers you need this much vitamin A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it's like, wait a minute, but maybe not each body has to sense for itself what it needs. What is your rhythm? What's your natural rhythm? The Western world is built on these artificial rhythms. Can't follow the natural rhythm anymore. Many people. That's the body. So when you can't be receptive to what your body is telling you, the body speaks to us, but we've removed ourselves so far from our body because, like, oh no, 8 o'clock you got to be at work. 6 o'clock is not the time to listen to your body. Huh? What? Your body isn't sleep enough? Like, no. Or like, I don't want to eat anything. Nope, you better eat, because if you haven't eaten by the time you get to work, you're going to be like, really, you can't eat for another 5 hours and you're going to really be in trouble. Or what, oh what, oh what, oh what. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the wizard receptivity with the body. And if that connection, the serpent, if that, all the kins are connected to these other kins, and when those connections work, it's just magic. It's just not, life will not never be void of its challenges, yeah, but it's just, oh man, and we don't need the Tzolk'in to understand how magical life is, certainly not. But I love it. It's just another dimension of magic. An accomplishment. So it's Magnetic Wizard today. Do I need to think about what I want to accomplish? We've just gone through the wave spell of the dragon, so that was the initiation of these 260 days. We've already gone through the blue hand. We've had it. I could remember again today. What do I want to accomplish? Just a little bit keep an eye on my goals. It's the antipode of the wizard, targeting, flowering, the yellow seed. It's furthest away, but they belong together. Receptivity. If I don't really have, it's kind of like having a radio station. Human beings are like, you can receive anyone or anything. You can receive a whole lot of spiritual beings that are able to broadcast through you, or into you, or to you, like a radio. Some humans have a lot of bandwidth. They have different kinds of, like, what was this radio? FM, AM, UKW, long wave, short waves, whatever. Different humans have different, we don't all have to have the same abilities to receive. But even within your potential, some radios only have FM. They can't receive the UKW. I don't know if that's called if that's out of the German UKW, UKW, or their long wave, whatever. Not every radio can, but if you can, doesn't mean you have to have all of that come in at the same time. And I think sometimes maybe the so-called empaths have an ability to receive a lot, and they can. And if they're not guided, or they're living in an environment that is they grow up in an environment where the signals are very jumbled in their environment, and they're too young to unjumble them, or they are not too young to unjumble them, but when they ask or display in any way, shape, or form the clarity of their own perception, what they're receiving clearly, and their environment says, no, 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 you're lying, or it's not true, or no, 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 mommy is fine, don't worry. But you may or not be worried, but you may know that she's not fine. So she lies to you. Now you have a dilemma. What you gonna do? Believe her? It's like, or believe yourself. So you can end up gaslighting yourself and believe her, because you have to play along with her reality. It's important, whatever, and then you have a couple of those around, and the dog and the cat and the cow. It can be too much. And then you arrive in adulthood not understanding why you're constantly burned out mentally or spiritually. Can't find your feet, can't find yourself. Everything is too much. You're so sensitive to everything, or completely blocked, completely maybe become numb, unable to be receptive. Yeah, easy. It's easy. Can easily happen. But either way, we have to set some focus. I think we have to learn how to. Maybe for me, the learning of this receptivity is at what if I say I'm a radio. If I liken myself to a radio, and maybe that's a very, very primitive comparison. And it's dangerous sometimes to make comparisons too primitive and too simple, because we are so much more complex. We are multidimensional beings. And to integrate, and we are becoming consciously multidimensional. So my focus, what do I channel through me? Who is Tatiana? Who speaks when she opens her mouth? Which frequencies do I embody? Which frequencies do I choose? And am I doing the choosing by my free will, or am I just opening myself to be chosen? For me personally, there can be very complicated questions, and the wizard lets me kind of off the hook. But it's not that the wizard lets me off the hook. I've been around a long time. I think I can occasionally get confused, but it's even possible that I pick up maybe even in childhood, whatever, maybe I pick up the collective. Maybe I pick up more confusion but I am also the collective, so I can't exactly abdicate responsibility there either. So what does the wizard teach me then? Just breathe and notice what you are noticing. Notice what you're aware of. Just notice. I'm noticing right now, I'm struggling to explain this. What feels to me as if I'm struggling to explain something that I notice now. Judgment comes in. Who do you think you are trying to explain anything? My head thinks like somebody's rolling eyes on the other side, like, God, we know that. What are you doing? Oh, shuts me down. That's fine. I do notice joy. I notice also that some shift has happened recently, that there's no fear creeping in. It's like as if there's this door, and for the past how many years, how many lifetimes, a past linear time, and how many dimensions of does something pop its head through that door that is fearful. And that I look at that door, my head automatically turns, but either there's nobody showing up at the door, there isn't even a door, but my head is still so automatically used to turn your head because something is coming through that door. It is not even picking up a defense. I'm not even picking up a defense in myself, which is it's quite something for me. Like, yeah, wow. It's enjoyable. It's seriously enjoyable. So for me and my receptivity, what am I being receptive toward? I don't even need to put words to it. This minute, every moment, it's just different. So now I'm becoming aware that maybe this is time to stop. I've elaborated enough on what we're targeting, what wants to flower, what is already flowering. The seed always also represents everything that already is. I can look at the tree, I can look at the plant, I can look at the seed. All the potentials, everything is linked. It's so simple. I can embody and be receptive towards my own seed potentials. The white wizard, as I say, they are guided by white seals. Every now and then he's guided by the white wool bridger. Like, tells me, hey, be mindful of letting go. The seed has to crack open. If a seed is afraid to die, it cannot come into life, because as seed, it will die. That's what we call dying. It will transition. It cracks open and transitions from seed into seedling into plant. The baby has to come out. The egg cell has to split. If it doesn't, it's not a good idea. So, one state transitions to another state. If we're looking forward to the states we're transitioning, I mean, seriously, house dust, the kind of house dust that you have around the corners, I read somewhere, it's like 80% dead skin cells. I don't know about 80%, but it's a huge number, like far more than 60. It's a lot of just like our dead skin cells. So every time you rub your hand against anything, skin cells come off. We are shedding skin all of the time. Do we think like, oh, I have to take care of that process, or like, oh, I'm losing any part of myself? We don't. That is like instinctual. That is like the body knows. The body knows how to heal through the wizard. That's where snake, serpent, and hand meet directly. I don't know now off the top of my head if there's any other seal. The hand is also attached to the earth, and it's attached to the human. Neither earth nor human are attached to snake, but earth occasionally is guided by snake, so there they meet. And the serpent is attached to the wizard. Here we're meeting, and the eagle and the warrior. So I think the wizard is where they meet. Receptivity, enchantment, healing. Be enchanted by life. That is life force. It activates life force. Being in awe, being in excitement. We can't be there all of the time. We need to be restful. We need to sleep. Inside world, outside world, blah blah. I spoke about all that yesterday. And but there's okay. No, I don't know if I'm waffling, but I'm going to send this off now. So wishing us all a beautiful wave spell of enchanted receptivity, inner Much inner stillness. Inner stillness is a great healer. I wish us healing wherever we need it. I wish us to know truth where we need that. And we need it anywhere. Truth is a healer too. I mean, gosh, any non-healing, any illness is just where we've turned away from truth. We've turned away from love. We've turned away from truth. Somewhere, it can be many generations ago. And then an accumulative effect. I spoke about that yesterday as well. Can we forgive it? Can we let it go? Does it feel as if it's too far back, that it's too big? The imbalance has become so big. Sometimes it's too big, we have to let the body go. Sometimes it, but mostly we don't. And if we're not sick yet, or we're not struggling with anything yet, it always comes in small. It always starts small. How do we treat the cold, the common cold? The way we treat the common cold is an indicator. It's a big, big indicator. I'm not going to go into that now. I'm a great friend of the common cold, or call it the flu, whatever. Go to bed and sleep, end of story. Drink lots and leave the world and let your body run its updates. That's it. The flu and the cold is an immune system update. If we're hammering ourselves with medication, the immune system can't update. Next thing comes along, immune system goes poof. I don't know how to handle this. Because you don't believe in me. Instinct, wizard, body, receptivity. The body knows how to heal itself. The only time it doesn't is when we interfere. And don't we love interfering? We get told we ought to interfere. I'm not saying someone makes a lot of money because of this interference. I'm not saying anything. Go have some peppermint tea. Enjoy life. It's very simple. The body is so complex and so simple at the same time. And when we're receptive, we can hear it. It will tell us too much of that, too little of that, need this, need that. It does. It does. And sometimes when it doesn't, well, we work on it. If we have the intention that actually I want to hear you, I want to treat you well, I want to have a relationship with you, body, mind, spirit, soul, love, environment, balance, healing, knowing, accomplishing balance, to evolve my own seed potentials, receptive, it's magician, wizard time, timelessness. We're eternal beings. And the body can be just as eternal. But we haven't yet figured out how to activate the DNA codes for that, or we've forgotten it. Both is fine, because we're going to get there. We're going to go back there. I'm pretty sure about that. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's have an enchanted day and enchanted wave spell. This wave spell takes us through Christmas. I think it takes us through to the new year. So may it be an enchanting time. Aho.